Alrighty, so today we're going to be going over how to get jacked 101, as you can see here, and the pictures that I decided to pick out was Clark Kent and David Lade for this category, and then I decided to pick out this is Trent Twins Mike and Sam Sulek for this picture. I think that's the most fair, and whenever that I say natty for these guys, I am talking about, like, this is your more aesthetic build. These are the two routes that you can go through to get jacked. So, yeah. So first off, what did you have to do to achieve this natty physique, right? This natty aesthetic physique, which these are top level physiques, both of these. You probably won't get them, and I'm sorry for you, but that's just the way it is. Number one, you need to eat in a calorie deficit, and what that means is you have a basal metabolic rate, BMR for short, that allows you to burn so many calories a day, right? So that would be cal deficit BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, and that is going to allow you to burn so many calories a day. You got to figure out how many calories that you eat. For usually people, it's roughly between 2,200 and I can't find that. Oh, hold up. This many calories, and that's a pretty big wide range. It depends on how much physical activity you do throughout the day and stuff, which we'll get into that. But let's just say that you are in the middle at about that amount of calories. So let's say if this is your caloric intake as someone who, we'll just do my height for this if I didn't exercise. So that'll be 6'1" at around 210 pounds. I think I'm a little bit leaner than that right now, but that's just the numbers that we'll play with and go with for now. So this is going to be your metabolic rate at around that if you don't exercise at all, right? So the first way that you have to do to get aesthetic is to be lean, and that means that you'll take that let's say that metabolic rate that we come up with, say you burn 2,600 calories a day. So that would allow you to eat that many calories a day, not put on any weight, but not lose any weight, right? So in order to be in a deficit, you would have to eat less than that amount, which is going to be around 500 to 700 to lose a pound/pound and a half per week. Obviously, as you get deeper into a cut, this is called a cut, if you do this for a long period of time, you will start you'll start noticing that the weight that you actually lose is less and less, and that's just because your body is, number one, you're losing weight, so you won't burn as many calories, so your metabolic rate isn't going to be as high as what it would be at 210, obviously. Okay, so you need to subtract 500 to 700 calories from your metabolic rate, and that's just what that you eat a day, and that's one method to get your calories lower. Next is exercise, and this will allow you to eat a little bit more. So let's say 30 minutes to about 45 minutes brisk walking on the treadmill, or just anything brisk, as long as you're not like really overexerting yourself. This is just to basically be active for a straight 30 to 40 minutes straight, right? This will burn quite a bit of calories for you. If you stay to the 45 minutes, you'll probably roughly burn around 300. So that gives you a little bit more here to play with. You can now eat 2,900 calories and still subtract this and lose the same amount of weight, because you're losing it here, right? So that's what I would recommend for your cardio. Honestly, this is the easiest. Walking is the easiest that you can do for cardio. Your physical training, some people take rest days. I'm not taking a rest day right now, and I'm doing PPL, which is push, pull legs is what that stands for. That means one day I do chest and tries and front shoulders. The next day I do back and biceps and rear delts, and then the next day I do legs. I have been separating my legs though, for one day being the front of the quad, and then the next day being doing hamstrings. So I'm still doing legs twice a week, but I can focus on specific things I need to focus on with them, and that's been helping me here recently. And honestly, my recovery's been a lot better since doing that. So these are your main things you want to be lifting every day. I would say if you were a newbie, a new lifter, 2 rest days a week is what that I would have planned for you. I think that would give you enough time, and you can still hit legs twice a week. And the split that I would recommend would not be PPL. It would be called push-pull legs, upper, lower, which means, and as you can see, there's already a space here. That would be your rest day, and this would be your rest day, right in between these two. But this is going to allow you to hit pretty much every muscle that you need to, and you can hit legs twice a week. Upper day, what that consists of is literally everything you do for push and pull, except you minimize the amount of sets that you do, and that's getting into some science-based stuff that I don't really care to talk about. This is just mainly if you're starting out, how to begin lifting, right? So this is going to do pretty good. Now let's get into some kind of expert techniques that I would tell you to do. I would do abs every other day, right? Abs every other day, because that's the only way to get them. I know that they say that you can only show abs by being lean, and while that is true, you still got to build them. Abs are built in the gym and shown off in the kitchen, and that's one of the best sayings ever, and that's how that you really get this aesthetic, and you'll get the V-taper from that as well. Now obviously genetics also play a big role in this, and that's why that I started off as you'll never probably look like this, because these guys just have insane genetics. Whenever that we get over to Clark, you can see that his like ab genetics are just so deep right here, and also his chest is very full right there. Arms are also insane. I didn't pick the best picture, I just kind of wanted it to line up with this David Lade picture over here. But David, as you can see, super small waist, super broad shoulder, which is very important for that aesthetic V-taper. He also has that in a way, but his lats obviously connect a little bit higher than what David's do. But yeah, David's super lean, has that vastus lateralis, or not vastus lateralis, that's down here. He has his intercostal muscles pretty worked up, which is your gills right there. His abs are pretty thick and defined, but honestly I prefer this look for abs better. So that is pretty much what you need to know to become jacked natty. Obviously there are some supplements to help. If I was you, I would do caffeine. I spelled that wrong. Caffeine. And I would supplement between but yeah, and then food wise, what I'd recommend eating is just low calorie, high volume stuff like lettuce and items of that nature. So lettuce and yogurt and anything that's going to make you full for a long time. Beef jerky is also pretty good because it makes your jaw sore. Also, another tip to add here is chewing sugar-free gum. This will also help your cravings as well. So whenever talking about these guys, let's see if I can grab this. This guy, this guy, and this guy will all help you curb the calories to do this better. But yeah, and then your macros should look something like this. It should be this is a little bit more advanced than just a calorie deficit, but it should be your body weight, which is, we're going to say BW, and that's going to be an equation which is about 0.9 to 1.2 pounds multiplied by, what was it, pounds of that multiplied by, is it 20 grams of protein? I can't remember how many grams of protein. Anyways, this is what I would do, right? Protein, I would set to your target lean body mass. So whatever you want to be lean. Then after that, I would do high carbs. And then after that, fill in the rest with fat. Yeah, and that's a pretty much good way on how to stay natty and get jacked. Alrighty, so now we're gonna get into the dark side, and this is gonna be pretty quick because I'm not on the dark side. But the dark side, what are we talking about here? We're talking about gear, and gear will help you get jacked huge, like these guys, right? But problem is if you want to be aesthetic, like these guys up here, if you want to be aesthetic, it's not really going to help that much unless you just push. I don't really want to tell much of this, but VAR is one. But yeah, this is this is basically to get, you know, as big as possible, right? So yeah, if you are, there's really, I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You will get huge on gear, and it doesn't really matter how you do it, honestly. This guy might be on gear. This guy here, he might be on gear, but these two definitely are, right? They're pretty open about it. So yeah, there's certain ones that will help you get really big, such as Deca and Trin. Deca and Trin. I know that for sure. Lean, VAR, normal, or everyday void is test. I mean, these are your main bread and butters, right? Do I really know much about them to tell you how to take them? No, so do not listen to me on any of that. But yeah, if you do that, you can, there are some upsides and downsides. Downsides, die quickly, or you'll get offed quickly, should I say. However, upsides is jacked fast. However, if you do this combination, right, I was telling you up here, this 30-minute walking with this calorie deficit, and you do some abs, you can achieve, I think, a better physique than these two. No hate on either of them, they have great physiques. I think both of these have great physiques, but I think objectively, in my opinion, or subjectively, Clark has a way better physique, and honestly, I think David, besides his legs, has a better, like, upper physique than Mike. But yeah, obviously genetics is the most important thing for any of these, so if you don't have good genetics, you probably won't look good, but you can still get strong, and that's its own video. But pretty much that's it. So thank you guys for watching, and yeah, this is my guide on pretty much how to be a natty aesthetic guy and stay off gear. Gear is bad for you. No. Peace.